this, Commissioner Jiggets.
Go ahead, Commissioner Jiggets.
Thank you. And I know we have a change in the personnel who's handling the minutes. I just would like to see under executive director comments, and this is not for correction, but his activities also moved and included as a bullet under his comments. And the only other comment is that we, with the review of the minutes, the most efficient way is to whomever among the staff is going to review the actual minutes after they are printed should do it by bringing up the actual video of the meetings and comparing it side by side. And with that said, there were some minor semantics that would need correcting, verbal agreements, plural versus singular with the subject and the verb. Those are, without going into the details, we just need to make sure subject verb agreement, semantics, and the person reviewing the recorder's minutes should do it side by side with the actual video. And with that said, I would move to adopt the minutes.
Second. Thank you, Commissioner Jiggets. It's been motioned and properly second. Madam Secretary?
Commissioner Barham,
Yes.
Commissioner Jiggets,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Wicks,
Yes.
Chair Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lalonde.
Yes. All righty, that approved 7-0. Okay, old business, Mr. Bland, we got any old business, sir?
None.
None, all right. New business.
New business, at the request of Commissioner Jiggets, she sent an email to us back in January in reference to board at the next meeting, talking with standard a conflict of interest, focus on voting absent and appropriate present during closed meeting. So Attorney James is going to kind of talk about that.
Okay. Good evening, all the commissioners.
Good evening.
Just wanted to confirm that hopefully you all did receive the state code that I'm going to be referencing as part of your package. And if you do have any follow-up questions, feel free to forward an email to myself or Mr. Bland. But briefly, section 2.2-3112 of Virginia Code, which is the State and Local Conflict of Interest Act, covers prohibited conduct by an officer or an employee of any state or local governmental or advisory agency who has a personal interest in a transaction. Under that code section, the individual must disqualify himself from participating in the transaction if, one, the transaction has application to property or a business or governmental agency in which the individual has a personal interest, or a business that has a parent, subsidiary, or affiliated business entity relationship with the business in which that individual has personal interest. Second, he has any disqualifications under this provision shall be recorded in the public records of the agency, and the individual is also required to disclose his personal interests and shall not vote or act in any manner on behalf of the agency in the transaction. Virginia Code Section 2.2311 further provides, as far as the recording in public records, that any officer or employee of local government who has a personal interest in any transaction before the governmental or advisory agency of which he is an officer or employee and who is disqualified for participating in the transaction or otherwise elects to disqualify himself shall forthwith make disclosure of the existence of his interests, including the full name and address of the business and the address or parcel number for the real estate if the interest involves a business or real estate, And this disclosure, again, shall be reflected in public records of the agency for 5 years in the office of the administrative head of the office or employee's governmental advisor agency. Also, the individual is prohibited from attending any portion of a closed meeting pursuant to FOIA when the matter in which he has a personal interest is discussed. Individual is also prohibited from discussing that matter in which he has a personal interest with other governmental officers or employees at any time. Section 4, and I won't go into details, but it provides the possible exceptions in this regards. So again, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email myself or Mr. Bland, and I will do, whatever research or what have you to get back to you. But primarily, that's the whole focus of that conflict of interest as pertains to governmental or local state employees. I hope that covers your questions or concerns.
Commissioner Jiggets?
That's all I have.
I just want to thank Attorney James for sending us this document and highlighting in yellow, bold yellow, so that there will be no misunderstandings as to what occurs. So thank you very much, Attorney James.
You're more than welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, reports. Mr. Bland, you got the floor.
Okay, Commissioner, in your package was the significant activity report. You may have had an opportunity to read or may not, but if you have any questions, I can take them at this time, or if you have any questions after this meeting in reference to the report, you can also reach out to me.
Commissioner Jiggets, let me put my hand up. I can't see the little thing where to put my
You
hand.
ain't got your camera not on.
My camera's not on.
Oh.
Is it on now?
Yeah, your camera's on.
Your camera's
Well,
on.
I can't see. We can't see it.
Your camera's
Your
on.
camera. No, it's on.
It's on.
MJ.
Yeah, I'm on. What? I'm up there in the corner.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You good?
Okay, y'all discriminate against senior citizens, but that's okay.
No. I'm a screenshot this so you'll see what we see.
But when I read the activities report, what really caught my attention, I'm so pleased with this, is the section on the resident success stories. That was just absolutely wonderful to see the various residents, and they've gotten placed in jobs. Now, I will say this, the resident who got placed, and she's a registered nurse, she needs to go back and renegotiate her contract because there's a shortage of residential nurses. And I know some who are making $75 to $100 an hour, but it's still all good, and so happy to see these resident success stories.
Amen.
Got you. All right. Anything else? Oh, Commissioner, go ahead.
Yeah, just two comments. First of all, I just want to, on the FSS, I really appreciate the effort that the team's doing for Swanson and for Dale. I know a couple months ago, we were doing a lot of things out there, and sometimes it's hard to reach them, but the FSS team, obviously bringing them into a lot of activities, so I really appreciate that. I don't want those folks to think that, they're forgotten, because that is tough property that they live in, but I just want to say thanks for the staff for helping them. Also, the home ownership seminar that y'all had, I thought that was great. Well attended. You had some great people on it. You had people that are participating in it. You had great community, the bank, their Dollar Bank, and some of the other organizations you have. So I really am excited about that program and how successful it's been for PRHA. So thank you. I just want to say thank you for the job again y'all did on that.
Thank you. Sure.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Bland?
I'm going to ask Delores to kind of talk about the Job Plus program a little bit that that her department's working on, to piggyback on what Commissioner Lalonde was saying.
Good evening again, everyone.
Good evening.
With Jobs Plus, I don't know if you all remember, last year we received $2.3 million, a $2.3 million grant from HUD for Jobs Plus to serve the residents of Swanson Home and Seaboard Square. it's a grant that's public housing specific. And for those two public housing communities, which were included in our grant application, after we received the grant, we had to go through a process where we were working on our work plan and our budget. We've received tentative approval from HUD of our work plan, and we had a soft kickoff of Jobs Plus on February the 1st, in keeping with the HUD requirements. With the Jobs Plus program, the focus is on a couple of things. One, we're trying to make work in a community value. So we're trying to promote employment as well as training for our residents of those two communities. And we're looking at employment and training in living wage and career-oriented employment. Not just a job for the sake of a job, if possible. At least that may be the first step, but that's not where we want it to end. This grant is for 4 years. We just hired our staff. They're actually going to be on site in the Swanson Home Community Center and the Seaboard Square Community Center. As part of the HUD requirements, we have hired 3 residents that actually live in those communities so that they can assist us. We call them community support aides, so they can assist us with the outreach and recruitment of residents to participate in the program. Right now, most of our activities are virtual. We're in the process now of getting some door hangs so that we can go door to door, but maintain social distancing from the residents to let them know, hey, we have this program. We've had a couple of meetings with the residents, and there's some excitement out there in the communities for Jobs Plus. We're letting them know, though, we're open for business. We are going to have, we call them mobile community learning centers, where we'll have residents will have access to computers in the at those sites, and some one-on-one attention. We're coming up now with a means of having appointments so that we won't have more than 1 or 2 people in the center at a time. But we want to try to encourage staff to come by, encourage residents to come by, meet your staff members. We're going to have a meet and greet, a virtual meet and greet online, so that the residents can see who their Job Plus staff are, so that they'll know when they go into the community center who to look for. And we're going to introduce them and tell them a little about the background of these. They're all young ladies, so these young ladies, so that they can they'll know who they are, and they'll get a chance to speak with the residents to let them know how much they're looking forward to working with them. So we're excited about starting this program. We see it being very beneficial to our residents. We have a lot of HUD support. We meet monthly with our Job Plus case manager. We have a meeting coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact, so that they make sure we're on track. That's one thing when HUD gives you these larger sums of money. They want to make sure you are on track and you're spending it as you should. But I told the staff they should be they've done a good job as far as working with our work plan and with our budget, because based on my experience, to have tentative HUD approval this quickly without having to go back and forth making changes is a sign that they did a very good job at putting together those documents. And we anticipate there is a couple of budget questions they had that we're going to cover tomorrow, and we anticipate final approval coming after our meeting tomorrow. So we're excited. The new staff that we hired, we hope they're going to be great. Based on their interviews, it sounds like they're going to be more awesome people to add to the resident services team. So we're excited about that, and we anticipate hearing great things. And it works. The timing is perfect, because the city of Portsmouth has actually hired a young lady, Ms. Crooms, in economic development, whose focus is workforce development. So we're working very closely with her and the programs that she's putting in place as far as training. She's working on some job training, virtual training programs. We're also working with Virginia Career Works and the local colleges like TCC and other schools. And the thing is, I had a meeting last week with Virginia Career Works, and everyone is saying if you want to do some employment related training, particularly in the trades or in technology, it's free training. They've got all these grants that they are looking for people to take advantage of. They take them so that they can go through training. So we think the timing is perfect for us to start our Jobs Plus program.
Dolores, what's the name of that place again you just said?
Virginia Career Works.
Thank you.
Yes.
Also, I want to congratulate Elisa and Philip. They're doing a great job with Lexington Place. I know many of you may have been by somewhere in a couple of months. We probably will try to have somewhat of an open house so that you can at least go in one or two of the units and see. Elisa, Philip, you got anything you want to say about Lexington Place? Elisa, I know you're not speechless.
No, I just didn't want to talk over Philip. I thought he was coming on. No, we're moving forward, with Lexington Place. We hope to have all of the residents in, I'm going to say late April, early May. Everyone should be in. So I'm looking forward to showing you all the beautiful community center, the units. The residents are very, very pleased to be a part of that development. So, yeah, we're excited.
Awesome, good, you got the floor.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go out there. I tell you, it's a beautiful place. That community center's got a computer lab in there, got plenty of space, got a small kitchen in there. I mean, it's just a great, plenty of parking, real accessible handicap parking. And you've just hit it out of the ballpark with Lexington Place. I'm very pleased. Also, I'm happy that we've done the demolition of, the back half of Lincoln, because that was such an eyesore. So I tell you what, PRHA is making it look good down there.
That's the plan. We're working with in hopes to get some of that dilapidated property surrounding Lincoln Park. So that's still in the works. I know we talked to you about that maybe month before last. We have had several conversations with the city about that. So that's still the plan. We do know the need to clean up that area. So that's what we want to do.
Awesome. Somebody was about to say something. One of the commission.
I was just asking that question about the surrounding area and any efforts that we've had to sort of get control of some of that.
Well, at least we're trying to work with the city to try to put together some money. We put in a letter of offer, and Philip can talk about that at the two various locations. Philip, you want to talk a little bit about the letter? We did submit a letter of offer.
Can't hear you, Philip.
Can't hear
No.
No.
Can't
You're
hear you.
muted.
Well, you were muted and then you weren't, but we still can't hear you.
Okay. Well, we did put in an offer. I'll take it over, Philip, for several properties surrounding Lexington Place. So we're waiting for them to accept or counter our offer. I did also request city funds, CDBG funds, specifically to assist in the effort of addressing slum and blight there. So I did speak with Mr. Baldwin about it and Mr. Kramer, and he is working with the interim city manager to see if we could utilize those funds for that purpose. So.
Okay.
That's it. All right. That's all you got, Mr. Bland. Any commissioners have any comments? Anything?
Yes, Commissioner Jiggis does.
You got the floor, Commissioner Jiggins.
Going back, to the activities report, the current position vacancies with those maintenance mechanics, will that be folded into placement through the workforce program, or how do these vacancies work? I have several questions, but that's the first one.
The maintenance positions we are advertising for to fill. I will admit, at this time, all of the housing authority in the region is really struggling to fill maintenance positions. And part of that is because the private sector is able to pay more money and I guess you might say gobble up a lot of our workforce as well as other housing authorities. But no, those are positions we're trying to fill permanently. But in the meantime, we have temps working in those positions and we're trying to get skilled people so we can continue to make sure we're providing the service necessary to our residents for their maintenance needs.
Okay, and the other two questions or comments I have in reference to Dale Holmes, because I think all of you know I'm an advocate for the Ring doorbell, and I'm still advocating it, Mr. Bland, and I hope you will be able to identify funds to do something creative for the Ring doorbells out in Lexington. But in the meantime, the one great thing about the Ring doorbell is neighbors can communicate in that venue. And a comment came on last night saying, what's going on in Dale Homes? I see a patrol car that's parked just sitting there. So I responded, that's great that at Dale Homes there's a patrol car just sitting there. So that was wonderful news. That is not a negative, that's a positive. And the only other thing, Mr. Bland, I hope you'll be talking about, I see on here about the processing for applications, renewals, and payment for the property general liability, wind and hail, and umbrella insurance for the authority property. So I certainly hope we'll be seeing more about that from you, because as you know, there are some voids that I want to see us be able to bridge with our liability insurance. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Jiggets. Any other commissioners, any other comments? I don't have any myself. No closed meeting agenda. Okay, public speakers. Perry Chair allows it to 5 minutes to speak. Do we have any public speakers out there today in the world? Going once, going twice, gone.
No message about upping the dosage on this medicine.
Hold on.
It's
Oh, that's
more.
okay. This threw me off.
I do.
Okay. Seeing that we don't have anything else, only other upcoming events we have is our March 21st, March 18th meeting, regular scheduled board meeting. There being nothing else, y'all stay safe, and all this other good stuff. Chairs, we need to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank y'all. God bless you.
Everybody be safe.
Good night.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone.
Bye.